Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore, and we are 100% profitable in nature, rather a cash-rich group with multi-million valuation. 100% profitable. The biggest regretful factor, not for me, for venture capitalist and private equity is I haven't raised a single dollar. And without raising a single dollar, how come I become at that level? That is the biggest regretful factor for them, not to me. And this regretful factor would grow, rest assured. There is no end of stupidity. This is what I learned till 37 years of my age. Today I am 37. No end of stupidity because stupidity is beyond boundaries. And when it comes to India, especially the reality shows, I noticed that. Not all, few. I noticed that. Like a non-vegetarian reality shows where people often talk about husband-wife relationship or a normal relationship, it gets a huge TRP. While a movie like The Big Shot, Margin Call, and all such great movies get almost no response. Almost no response. But and I'm not quoting, I have seen enough documentaries on various OTT platforms. I'm not quoting any name, but you guess what I mean. OTT stands for over the top, completely sexual in nature, completely full of nudity, full of vulgar events, full of vulgar scenes, full of vulgar talks, and a huge TRP. And I have seen enough movies on Netflix, very good movies, motivational movies, very thoughtful, thought provoking movies, financial movies, hardly any response. Hardly any response. Very thought provoking movies, hardly any response. So, there is a great saying in economics, which is there is a demand, there is a supply. Demand is vulgar, cheap, sexual, there is a supply. And now there is a new twist in the game, and that twist is Shark India. First, few weeks ago, when I was doing my research, because I consistently do research on many things, but the point is, I don't have time to make videos on all eventualities. My bandwidth is limited, but I try to cover as maximum as possible because I get several WhatsApp messages every year, every day, several emails, several invitations, several replies from the government. The government organization wanted to tie with us, institution, universities, so I hardly get any time. And trust, it is around 6 a.m. my place. I not slept for the day. It is 6 a.m. my place, Singapore, and I'm shooting the video. I can speak a lot about the judges of the Shark India. I did enough research and don't think I'm not going to be speaking. I would be speaking. It's yet another platform by private equity and venture capitalist firm indirectly how to, And one of the specific person I wanted to talk is Ashneer Grover. Like I told you that I do a lot of research before I come to make any videos. See, Only to speak on Ashneer, this level of research is done. Only to speak. Just imagine when I would be covering the whole shark India. Just imagine. Anyways, let's start the game. I raised a very pertinent point that how come Bharat Pay, who is a loss-making company, got the license from Reserve Bank of India. And this video is live on the YouTube. People liking this video, I am getting the comment. And now I knew that how Indian regulators work. They have a standard target. Indian regulators cannot refuse any private equity, any venture capitalist, any big four, any credit rating agency, any G7 bank. You name any top bank, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citi, Deutsche, Barclays, UBS, Credit Suisse, many. They all involved in huge list of scandals. Huge list of scandals. And specifically talking Credit Suisse. Almost every passing day, Credit Suisse name came in public. But still, did you saw any action by any regulator against the names I mentioned? Never. Never. Any big four? Never. So Indian regulator cannot take action against big fours, credit rating agencies, banks, foreign brokerage houses, and big corporates. Indian corporates are always ready to denounce a small and a weak investor who cannot raise his voice, but not everyone like that. Bharat Pay got the banking license. How come? I fail to understand, but you know the reasons. Now, Bharat Pay is facing a fight. And let me read the sentence to you, which I got printed. A preliminary internal investigation has pegged the magnitude of the financial misconduct at over 50 crores. Bharat Pay has engaged a law firm and a risk advisory consultant to conduct a more detailed investigation after allegation of financial irregularities. PwC alongside A&M are doing the audit. PwC. That review threw up alleged misuse of funds by Madhuri Jain, head of controls at Bharat Pay and wife of Mr. Grover, Ashneer Grover. So my question to Ashneer Grover, he is also a judge to Shark India. What are your credentials, Ashneer? Did you started Bharat Pay from your money? Is it your money? Tell me in which year Bharat Pay was profitable. Tell me when you was at Bharat Pay, what the hell you not saw this? What the hell you not saw this? Tell me. And Ashneer, more importantly, tell me one thing. How much money you earned by buying and selling of shares? And I have an evidence. Mr. Grover last month went on a 2-month leave of absence following allegation of using abusive language against Kotak Mahindra bank staff and fraudulent practices. Filed an arbitration plea with Singapore International Court. And do you know that Mr. He invested heavily. Now, just tell me one thing. And this person already lost, I would say the arbitration appeal. Anyways, we'll speak about arbitration. We are an expert in arbitration. We know how to speak against that. My biggest question is, my biggest question is, do these people deserve to be a judge? Do these people deserved to be a judge? Really? Then it would be better not to have these shows. You know, the kind of trend we are setting, or in English we call this as a precedent, the kind of precedent we are setting, that the people with the murky backgrounds are acting as a judge. And I would be doing research on each and every judge, let it be honest. And look at the statement given by his wife. Mrs. Jan, who was forced to go on a voluntary leave, took to Twitter on Wednesday, tagged Times of India along among others, calling her sacking as witch event by Sukoya. Sukoya. I raised the voice against Sukoya many times. An investor in the Bharat Pay, Rajneesh Kumar, former SBI chairman and board chairman at the firm, and Harshjeet Sethi, managing director at Sukoya Capital, in accompanying tweets comprises of a series of videos, she accused top executive at the company of drunken orgies. Do you know the meaning of drunken orgies? I don't think I need to explain you that. And none of the word I have used from my side. Not a single word I used from my side. Even after that, Reserve Bank of India is silent towards banking license to Bharat Pay. Even after that, not a single media house spoke against Bharat Pay. I have so many questions to ask, and I would be asking these questions, including Rajneesh Kumar. But just think, where are we actually heading? That's a more pertinent point. Where are we actually heading? A designated lady, I never met that lady, a designated lady is using a word, drunken orgies. Former SBI chairman is chairman of a loss-making company. Former SBI chairman. And this isn't the first time, by the way. This isn't the first time when the former chairman of any bank become, this is now a trend. But regulator is like Gandhi ji ke teen bandar. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group, the first video on Shark India. Ashneer Grover, if you feel you deserve to be an entrepreneur, my number 9899242978. You first prove me the valuation of Bharat Pay when you was on the board. Valuation of a Bharat Pay when you was on the board. And if Ashneer Grover, you are thinking that statistically you can beat me, then visit my profile. Because even top banks of the globe fail to do so. And I would be covering the Shark India thoroughly. Let me assure you and other judges. Because effective 2018, I am covering SoftBank. and the so-called Sukoya. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. Have a great time ahead.